I met him during one of the hardest moments of my family's life. We were struggling, financially, emotionally, and mentally. My father was sick, my mother was holding the house together. And I was working 2 jobs just to keep the lights on. Then he appeared. A family friend of my uncle, someone everyone trusted immediately. He helped pay for some of my father's medicine. He helped fix things around the house. He even brought groceries when we couldn't afford them. He acted like a guardian angel. Someone who appeared exactly when we needed help the most. Someone who made us believe good people still existed. Someone we let all the way inside our home. And inside our lives. At first, I thought she was just being polite. Every time he came over, she would smile. Ask him if he wanted tea or coffee. Laugh at his jokes. And tell my parents how kind he was. But slowly, there was something off. The way her eyes followed him longer than normal. The way she adjusted her hair when he walked in. The way she seemed more excited when he was coming over than when I walked into the room. And the worst part, I blamed myself. I told myself, she's just being friendly. Don't be insecure. He's a family friend. But deep down, my chest felt tight every time they interacted. Like a warning I refused to listen to. It started with small things. Her phone lighting up when he texted my family group chat. Her asking questions about him. How old is he? Is he married? Does he have kids? Questions she didn't need to ask. Then she started dressing up more on days he visited. She put on perfume when she knew he was coming over. I tried to silence the voice in my head. The voice that whispered, something is wrong. But I didn't want to be the jealous boyfriend. I didn't want to accuse someone who helped my family. So I stayed silent. And that silence destroyed me. We were all sitting in the living room. My parents were laughing with him. And my girlfriend sat across from him on the couch. At one point, he told a joke. A stupid, not even funny joke. And she laughed so hard she touched his knee. His knee. I froze. My stomach dropped. She had never laughed like that at anything I said. And the way he looked at her. That was no family friend look. It was the look of a man who wanted something he shouldn't want. And she knew it. And she liked it. Eventually he left. My girlfriend left too. She said she needed fresh air. But she forgot her phone charger at my house. So I went to put it in her bag. That's when her phone lit up. From him. And the message said, "Did you get home safe? I was thinking about you." My heart cracked. I stared at the screen. Feeling like the air had been sucked out of the room. 10 seconds later. Another message. "I can still smell your perfume." My hand shook. My entire body felt cold. This man, the man who helped my family, was trying to take the one person I trusted the most. But the worst part wasn't him. It was that she never told him to stop. I asked her about the messages that night. She acted offended. "You think I'd cheat on you? With him? Seriously?" She gaslit me. Turned everything around on me. Made me feel guilty for even asking. She said it was nothing. That I was being dramatic. That I was misinterpreting everything. For a moment, I believed her. Because I loved her. Because I trusted her. Because I refused to accept the truth that was right in front of me. A week later, my mother pulled me aside. She looked worried, really worried. She said, "Something's wrong between them." I froze. If my mother saw it. It wasn't in my head. She said she caught them standing too close in the kitchen. Talking in low voices. Smiling in a way that felt intimate. And that's when I knew. I wasn't crazy. I wasn't insecure. Something was happening. And I had to find out what. She said she was going to meet her friend Emma. But Emma had already told me she was out of town. So I followed her. My heart was pounding the entire time. I didn't want to be right. I prayed to be wrong. But when she turned into his street, my heart sank. She parked, got out, walked straight into his house. No hesitation. No guilt. Like she had done it before. Like it was normal. I waited in my car for 15 minutes. Then 20. Then 30. My hands were sweating. My throat felt tight. Finally, I walked up to the house. Looked through the living room window. And there they were. On the couch. Her hand on his chest. His arm around her waist. Her laughing into his neck. My world collapsed. Everything inside me went silent. Like my heart had died before my body did. I knocked on the window. Hard. They both jumped. He pushed her off him. She covered her mouth. And he, the man who pretended to help my family, had the audacity to stand up and walk toward me like I was the problem. He opened the door and said, "You shouldn't be here." I wanted to break him. I wanted to scream. But all I felt was emptiness. She came running out of his house after me.
If this story hits you, you can support the channel with a quick hype.
Her voice shaking. Her hands trembling like she was the victim. Not me. Wait. It's not what it looks like. The oldest, most pathetic line in the world. I stared at her. And for the first time, I didn't feel love. I felt nothing. Not anger. Not heartbreak. Just emptiness. Like my heart had finally given up. She kept talking. Her voice cracking. Her words sliding over each other like broken glass. He was just comforting me. I wasn't feeling well. You don't understand. He kissed me first. I didn't want to hurt you. Every sentence made less and less sense. Every excuse was weaker than the last. She was scrambling. Trying to build a bridge out of ashes. Trying to fix something she had already burned to the ground. But the truth is, betrayal doesn't come with one excuse. It comes with layers of lies. And she had built an entire world of them. Behind my back. And I finally saw it all. Too clearly. While she cried and begged, he stood behind her in the doorway. Arms crossed. Jaw tight. Eyes full of arrogance. The kind of arrogance that only comes from a man who thinks he can take whatever he wants. He had the nerve to say, "You were never good enough for her." My blood ran cold. This man, the one who helped my family, the one my parents trusted, the one I treated like a brother, had been waiting for the perfect moment to step into my life and rip everything apart. He smirked. Actually smirked. Like he had won something. But the thing about manipulators is, they don't realize they're exposing themselves the moment they feel powerful. And at that moment, he showed exactly who he was. A man who used kindness as a weapon. Who used generosity as a disguise. Who used my family's pain as a doorway into the life he wanted to steal. I looked at him and said one sentence. "You didn't win anything." And for the first time, I saw fear in his eyes. I didn't want to tell them. I didn't want to bring more damage into a house already carrying too much pain. But betrayal doesn't stay quiet. It spreads. Like fire. Like poison. When I came home, my mother saw my face. And instantly knew. "What happened?" she asked. Her voice was soft. Almost afraid of the answer. I told her everything. Slowly. Carefully. Trying not to break while explaining. How the man who helped us Was the same man destroying me. My father, sick and exhausted, sat up in bed when he heard his name. The disappointment on his face was worse than the betrayal itself. He whispered, "I invited this man into our home, and he stabbed us in the back." I had never seen my mother so angry. Not once in my entire life. She didn't cry. She didn't shout. She simply said, "He's not stepping into this house again." And the finality in her voice hit me harder than anything. News travels fast in families. Especially painful news. My relatives were shocked. My uncle felt responsible. Because he was the one who introduced that man to us. He apologized again and again. My cousins were furious. They wanted to confront him. Some even wanted to fight him. But my grandmother said something that silenced everyone. Kindness without boundaries invites monsters into your home. She was right. We opened our door to someone who pretended to be good. And he used that door to walk straight into my relationship and tear it apart. The betrayal wasn't just mine anymore. He betrayed all of us. Despite being sick, my father insisted on seeing him one last time. We went to his house. Not to fight. Not to yell. But to end everything. With clarity and truth. When the door opened, he looked surprised. Not guilty. Not ashamed. Just annoyed. My father, weak but determined, said, "You pretended to help us, so you could take something from my son. That makes you worse than a thief." The man tried to argue. Tried to act confident. Tried to defend himself. But there's something powerful about a disappointed father. Something that cuts deeper than anger ever could. For the first time, he couldn't make eye contact. He looked away. He fidgeted. He lost his voice. Because deep down, even monsters know when they've been exposed. A week later, she showed up at my door. Crying, shaking, begging. But she didn't cry because she hurt me. She cried because she got caught. She cried because her fantasy collapsed. She cried because the man she betrayed me with didn't want her anymore. Once the truth came out, she said things like, "He manipulated me. I didn't know what I was doing. It was a mistake. I miss you." But the thing about betrayal is, the moment it happens, the version of you they loved dies instantly. There is no going back. No fixing. No undoing. I looked at her and didn't recognize her anymore. And that's when I realized the relationship ended. Long before I walked up to that house. I just didn't see it yet. I thought it started recently. I prayed it started recently. But the truth was much uglier. My cousin told me he saw them months ago. Talking in a parking lot. Too close. Too comfortable. Too familiar. My mother remembered a weird moment at a family dinner 3 months earlier. That suddenly made sense now. And worst of all, I found messages on her old tablet from weeks before I ever suspected anything. Sweet messages. Flirty messages. Conversations full of secrets. They were emotionally cheating. Long before it became physical. My nightmare had been happening. Right in front of me. For months. We met one last time. Not to fix anything. But to end it. She cried. I didn't. She talked. I didn't. She reached for my hand. I moved it away. When betrayal hits a certain depth, the heart becomes silent. I told her one thing. You didn't just lose me. You lost the version of me who trusted you. And with that, I walked away. And for the first time in months, my chest felt lighter. Not healed, but lighter. Sometimes the end is the beginning you never knew you needed. Betrayal doesn't just break you, it rebuilds you in ways you never saw coming. I became colder, sharper, stronger. I stopped giving access to people who didn't earn it. I learned that family doesn't always mean protection, and kindness doesn't always deserve trust. And I learned something else. Something powerful. The person who betrays you teaches you more about love than the person who stays. Because betrayal forces you to find yourself all over again. If you're listening to this, and you've ever trusted the wrong person, please know this. It wasn't your fault. Your heart wasn't wrong. They were. You aren't broken. You aren't weak. You aren't unlovable. You were simply loyal to someone who didn't deserve loyalty. Heal slowly. Protect your heart. And remember, the right people don't need opportunities to betray you. They protect you.
If you've ever felt this kind of pain, don't walk through it alone. Hit subscribe and stay with us. More real stories are coming.